What's going on today? We have the RTX 5080. This is the gaming OC version of the card by Gigabyte. We'll be pairing it with the 9800X3D and 32 gigs of RAM. All right, let's jump into widescreen on Doom: The Dark Ages. We've got a 5080 here today, and we're just going to run through low all the way up to Ultra Nightmare. There's about a 20 FPS swing between low to the all the way up to the Ultra Nightmare. So right here is about 100 FPS with no upscaling. It does dip down when that thing comes crashing down. That's with every setting though. But right here, let's just keep on going through some of these settings. And these are kind of, you're going to expect, pretty good settings, all the way, pretty good performance no matter the setting, all the way up to your path tracing. And that will require a lot more, it'll require a little bit more, concessions, maybe some DLSS in there. But yeah, we're just going to keep going and see if we can get some good numbers for you guys here. So hopefully get all this taken care of and run through it. This opening chapter, pretty good, got some action to it. So let's jump over into the very next level and come down here and try out our next level, which is high. Gonna go ahead and save that, jump back in. All right, let's keep going. I don't really want that gun. Which gun do I want? I don't want a shotgun either. What do I want? What do I want here? All right, I guess we're just going to use what we got. All right, so anyway, let's just keep on going. Hop over this and take care of these dudes here. All right, go ahead and spread out. Yeah, looking pretty good. All right, let's pop through here. Shotgun this dude. All right, sweet. Let's keep going. All right, so there's that was let's see, that was high. Let's go to ultra. And as I mentioned earlier, you can expect about 20 FPS less on ultra than on low. There's not a huge amount of difference really on a 5080. Running it with the low setting is kind of pretty pointless. Honestly, I really recommend just going all the way up to ultra and then using some DLSS, or Ultra Nightmare and using some DLSS to bring it back into check. Because our PCL right here is at 30, it's at 30 milliseconds, which is still very, very, very responsive. There's nothing wrong with 30 milliseconds of response time, in my opinion. All right, go ahead and skip this. That's just where a little unit comes down. All right, let's go ahead and through here. All right, let's see if we got some ammo. I need some ammo. Got a shield, nice. Oh, I'm on fire. Let's not be on fire. That'd be good. Go over here and grab a little bit more armor. All right, so come through here. There should be some dudes right there. All right, there we go. Okay, all right, let's go on to the next level. Check out what we can expect all the way up to Nightmare, and then we'll go to Ultra Nightmare, and then we'll check out some path tracing, because that's really where this card, if you're buying a 5080, you definitely want to explore the maximum fidelity settings. So we're just going to keep going through here. All right, nice, nice. All right, let's go up to Ultra Nightmare. This will be a pretty good area to test that out in. All right, let's, there we go. All right, Ultra Nightmare. Ultra Nightmare, DLAA. So I've not used any upscaling at all yet, and everything still looks really good. We've got mainly PCL to worry about. That's at 37 milliseconds, which is still pretty good. Definitely, fine. For the most part, anything under 50 is a pretty good PCL. And, yeah, after that, we're just going to check out some DLSS with the path tracing and see what frame generation might do for us. Because there's a lot of things in this game that we can adjust. You can kind of endlessly check out different settings. We're just going to cover all the big ones and go from there. All right, let's see if I can get this door open. Once I clear all this out, I should be able to run through the rest of the test here. All right, once we get the dialogue at the bottom, we'll be good. While we're here, though, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to some path tracing. We got some fire in this area here, so it'd be a pretty good way to see what path tracing does as far as how much it kicks us down. All right, so let's turn that on. Go ahead and apply that. It takes it just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So right here, that drops us down to 28 FPS on the Ultra Nightmare settings with full path tracing. So we're definitely going to be able to bring this back up with some DLSS, because this is absolutely not a good way to play it. Let's kick it on over. turn on some DLSS and see what we can do there. So DLAA, let's go to quality. All right, so this is quality Ultra Nightmare, and that brings us up to 50s. We're probably going to need to run at least balance, but maybe even performance to get Ultra Nightmare to give us enough good frames to then frame generate from. So let's jump over to balance now and see what that does for us, because balance looks pretty good at 1440 on over. Okay, let's see what that does. That gives us 70 FPS, so this is probably a pretty good way to play it if you want to go all the way up to Ultra Nightmare. You know, 67 FPS here, and everything looks really good. Go ahead and knock that dude out. There we go. Need some more armor. Okay, this looks really good though. I mean, balance looks good, and your PCL is still at 37 milliseconds. So from right here, you could go to performance, and that would potentially increase your PCL a little bit, but you don't need to. Let's just see what it does though. Okay, so let's go up to performance, apply that. Let's see what our PCL drops to. So that went to, we're at 28. So that definitely gets your PCL under 30 most of the time. It's hanging right there at 30, 92 FPS though. So this area right here, these dudes should pop on out. Let's see where they're at. There they are. All right, let's see. Go ahead and blast that dude. All right, go ahead and knock him out. Cool. All right, so let's jump over to some frame gen testing. Let's go to balance. That'll give us over 60 FPS, and then we're going to kick on some frame generation if I can find it. Okay, frame generation, we're going to go to 2x. So 2x frame gen on balanced with Ultra Nightmare settings gives you a PCL of 40 milliseconds there. That dude's pretty easy to take care of. All right, there we go. All right, so 40 milliseconds on your PCL, 38 at times. PCL's no concern at all. You got 115 FPS. And you're able to run full path tracing on your widescreen settings. Go ahead and knock these dudes out. All right, get the blue key. All right, so I mean, for the most part though, this is you know, absolutely doable. There's nothing wrong with any of these settings. It's all preference, like I say. But let's come back out here, run into this point, and check it out. So we go up to 4x just to see what that does. All right, so go to 4x. I'm going to apply that. All right, so 4x frame gen. It does negatively affect your PCL a little bit, but not too bad. We're still under 50 milliseconds, which is quite nice. And yeah, for the most part, you're just like, you know, it's all preference here. And go ahead and run through all these dudes. Go ahead and shoot that guy. All right, come over here, get some armor. Very nice, very nice. All right, those dudes are, take him out, take him out. All right, there we go. All right, so cleared that area out. What are we looking like though? I mean, our PCL is at 50 milliseconds. Still feels super snappy and responsive. 4x frame gen. We're right here at the balanced preset. Let's see what performance does, just to see if we can get that PCL to come down a little bit. We're going to come up to 2x and test here. Then we'll go to 4 and see what that does. All right, so 2x frame gen with performance DLSS. All right, run through here just a little bit. All right, yeah, so 36 milliseconds. That gave us a little bit better PCL. And yeah, for the most part though, this is just going to be very playable. You're just going to have to use some DLSS when it comes to your, you know, if you want to run that path tracing. That's really all there is to it. There we go. Get some more ammunition. There we go. All right, sweet. Okay. All right, nice. All right, so we got through there. PCL is looking like 37, so high 30s, which is exceptionally good. 163 FPS on performance. And let's see what else we need to test out here, because this was 2x, I believe. Let's go to 4 and see what that does with our PCL and our frame rate. So frame rate goes up to, you know, over 200 FPS here. And our PCL is about 31 milliseconds, so that is exceptionally good as well. Nothing wrong with any of this. And let's go ahead and get this gate. Shut that thing down. All right. So yeah, let's just see what I would probably play like. You know, this is one of the settings I would probably play through the game with. It tends to run pretty well here. I do like the frame generation, but let's cut that off and see kind of where we are at performance with everything maxed out, just to get a baseline. So without any frame generation with performance DLSS, you're still at you know, 80s as far as your frame rate goes, and your PCL is definitely looking really good as far as like response rate, response time and stuff. So 30 milliseconds is really good as well. But yeah, I don't have any sort of complaints as far as like how well this is running. It runs really well. It's super smooth. It's a super fast game. And yeah, let's go ahead and kill these dudes in here that pop up. All right, there we go. Kind of mow through these dudes. See if we can get that gate open. All right, there we go. Sweet. So yeah, I mean, if you're willing to, you know, use a little bit of DLSS, you're going to be fine. Let's see what the next level of DLSS going, just for grins. I just kind of want to see what quality looks like with a 2x frame gen, and then we'll call it a day. I just want to see what that does for our PCL, because that'll get our frame rate up enough, but our PCL stays under 50. So that's pretty promising. You know, you can use some frame gen and enjoy quality DLSS without any real concessions. I mean, it looks super nice, super sharp. What's 4x do? Just to see what that does. All right, let's jump into it. And this will probably wrap it up, folks. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, you know, of course, jump down there, give me a comment, see what you want to see next. Let me know, and what card you want to see. And you know, everything down in the description that is linked is what I use to make these videos, and anything that you purchase through those links does help the channel, even if it's not the thing you purchase. So you can click 5080 and then go buy a new blender, and that will still help me out. So not a lot of people know that, but yeah, that's a small way you can help me out that doesn't cost you anything. And every little bit does add up when I'm you know, expanding and, you know, showing you guys more and more tests. It does cost a little bit of money to do that, so anything you can do will help me out. And with that, I will wrap it up, and we'll talk to you in the very next one. Peace.